Well, what is going on, everybody? A little bit of a different video for you today. Actually, very different, but it is something that I think may apply to a lot of you guys, especially if you own a boat, whether that's a bass boat like myself or any boat and you keep it in a garage like I do. I think that this video may be very interesting to you. And the biggest reason is that, you know, there may be a lot of you guys that live up in the northern part of the country where it gets really cold. Or even you live in the southern part of the country and you just get hit with random cold fronts. Nobody likes to do anything in a cold garage, whether that's work, whether that's just sit out in your boat. I know that for me, something that I absolutely love to do is just come out here in the boat and organize it. And as a matter of fact, you can see that it has a lot of junk just sitting on it right now. So I actually do need to do some organizing in the boat. I also need to do some packaging for my apparel company. But the thing is that right now, if you look at my little digital thermometer, it's 35.8 degrees inside. It's pretty cold. It's still in the 20s outside right now. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you this new product that I just picked up. I've been running this thing for about a month and a half, and it's a Sunfire heater. Now, something that's really interesting about this heater is it actually runs on diesel. And I've actually used like kerosene diesel heaters that are forced air heaters in the past, but this is not a forced air heater at all. Those forced air heaters, they tend to put off, you know, carbon monoxide. They tend to put off a lot of fumes. And I actually recently broke down this electric heater, which I'll talk to you about in just a minute. But I actually used one of those forced air heaters for just a little bit out here. And I'm telling you, it was 30 minutes into heating up this shop out here. And if I was out here, I would immediately get a headache, like immediately get a headache. And it was a no bingo. And so the thing was, is I found these particular heaters online, and the big thing about them that's different than a lot of other heaters, especially that run on diesel, no fumes, no carbon monoxide. They are clean burning. And this thing is super powerful, and we're about to show you just how powerful that thing is. I'm starting to shiver a little bit because it is very cold out here. But the biggest thing that I wanted to do is I didn't want to use electric anymore. And so that heater that's up there, I had that for a year and a half and it broke down. Not even like 2 full winters, which is really unfortunate because I thought that this was going to be the cheapest way for me to heat this outside space. And what I found is that an electric heater like that, which is a 10,000 watt heater, which it broke down, it melted the little, it melted something on the back of it. But anyways, it only cost about $300. Like you can buy them on Amazon for like $350. But everything else involved with those cost a lot of money. For example, I did most of the installing on that thing. The only thing that I didn't do was tie the actual electric wire into the panel because I'm not an electrician and I just wasn't comfortable with doing that. But I hung it, I ran the wire all the way to the panel, but I didn't run it inside of the panel. Now, the first thing that I realized is that wires that are going to power a 10,000 watt or a 15,000 watt electric heater are expensive as crap. This is something that I did not know when I bought a $300 heater. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have a $300 heater. It's gonna heat the shop and be good to go. No, that one cord that I bought for that, which is only 50 feet long, cost $200. And I just had one of my friend's dads actually buy a very similar heater, and the electric wire that he had to use for a 15,000 watt heater is all copper, and it cost him $800 to run that wire to his panel, plus the $400 installation fee. This thing would more or less, it would heat the shop up to about, like if it was as cold as it is right now, which it's in the 20s outside, it would keep it in here at like 45 degrees, but it would cost me $10 to $15 a day on my electric bill to heat out here. So if you have a week, if you have 2 weeks where that thing is running a lot, I mean, you could see a huge increase in your electric bill. And so this thing, it'll actually run on it has a 6-gallon tank attached to the bottom of it. And this is actually the smallest version that they have. The nice thing that I like about it is that it was completely put together, like no assembly required, and it's made right here in the US. So when I got it, I literally pulled it out of the package, I put diesel in it, and I hit a button and it turned on. Like, personally, I love that. I just got done with Christmas time putting together all my son's different packages that they have, and it was just a lot of work. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So to have this thing just wheel out, hit the button, I know that some of the bigger units do require a little bit of assembly, but this little 80,000 BTU unit, man, this thing is bad to the bone. And I'm about to show you just how bad to the bone that it is. So I'm actually gonna be doing a little bit of work out here in the shop, but I thought I would just kind of record basically how fast it would heat up this shop. Now the shop that I am in right now, it is like just over 1,500 square feet, and I have 12-foot tall ceilings in here. So just for your reference, this particular unit can go up to 1,900 square feet. And I know that they have some that like will heat 3,000, 4,000 square feet. So, but anyways, I want to show you how powerful this thing is because it puts out some serious juice. Now again, I'm going to show you this temperature gauge. It's 35.8 inside this building. It's 20 something degrees outside right now. It's 12:23. So I'm gonna let this thing run for an hour, and then we're gonna check the temperature gauge to see how far it's come up in an hour. And then I might even let it run for 2 hours because I'm gonna be out here for a little bit of time doing some work. And I just want to show you guys how warm it'll get out here. All right, let's go ahead and run this thing. Now, it is more silent than a torpedo heater, but it still is, I mean, it still has some noise to it. But anyways, you basically just turn that button on the back, and this thing's gonna power up. Usually it's the fan that powers up first, and then you'll see it when it kicks on. It's cold out here. All right, she's rocking and rolling. And so the nice thing too is it's immediately pumping out some heat right up here above. So I really like this thing. Again, the really nice thing, no fumes at all. You can see if I get right above it, no fumes. It's like getting hot already. I wish I had one of those thermal type readers so you could actually see it like poofing up out of there. But I'm gonna let this thing run. I'm gonna do a little bit of work. We will take a look here in just a couple of minutes at what it looks like out here. Alrighty, well, it's officially been 1 hour. It is 1:30 right now, still 28 degrees outside. And I'm gonna come over here to my thermometer so you guys can see. We're at 52.2 degrees. So that's almost 17, just went up to 52.3. That's almost 17 degrees that it has come up in literally an hour. So it makes it a lot more comfortable out here to just work in, as I've been doing, trying to clean off my boat. Somehow, while messing around with that, I made it worse, and now it's starting to get a little bit better. But I think what I might do is let it run for another hour and just come back and see what it's at, just so that I can kind of give you guys just a play-by-play of what the heater does. I'm really impressed by it though. It just puts off such a warm heat. It's a radiant heat as well. But I did want to mention something real quick. Although this thing doesn't put off any carbon monoxide like some of the, the torpedo style heaters, I do think it's always important to just be safe. So I do have a carbon monoxide reader out here that's just sitting up there. So in case it were to get too high in here, it would go off. But again, I've never had it go off. I don't think that you have to worry about it at all with these particular type of heaters, the way that they are manufactured. But I don't ever think it's a bad thing to have out here just in case something were to go wrong. Now, another thing I did want to mention about the Sunfire heater is that there is some maintenance that is required. You guys probably saw the fuel filter. on the side of it. So replacing that every now and then would probably be good. I'll probably replace it like after it's done, kind of for the season. Also, it actually comes with an extra nozzle and a thermostat cord. And I actually didn't even talk about the thermostat, which is actually pretty cool about this unit, that if you look right here, there's a bypass that's currently set up, but you can actually rig this up to a thermostat if you want, like your traditional wall thermostat that you can get at Home Depot or Menards, which also they sell Sunfires at a lot of Home Depots. But you can get a thermostat, you can rig it up to this the Sunfire heater, where that it will actually kick on and off without you having to babysit it. You know, for the most part over the last month, when I come out here to work, I flip it on, and when I'm done, I flip it off. But if you wanted to set it up, maybe you live in a very cold area where you need to keep that garage at a certain temperature throughout the night, you could rig up a thermostat and it would kick on and off by itself. So definitely a cool feature there. It also comes with this extra nozzle. The nozzles on these, like over the course of time, they're gonna get a little gunked up. And so you may need to either clean the one out that's in it or replace it. I actually saw a guy that was doing this online. He was doing a review and had run the unit itself for over 4 years, using it a lot before he had to do that. But it's nice that Sunfire actually ships you out a nozzle, so you have one ready to go if and when you may need it. So there is some maintenance required with these things, but man, I cannot tell you how impressed I am by this unit. I really can't. And we've been talking for a few minutes here. It's already gone up even more. It's at 54.7. So it's getting very comfortable in here, and I'm gonna let it run for probably about another almost hour, and I will check back with you guys to see where we're at. All right, we are closing in on 2 hours here with the heater on. Got the boat pretty much all cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the heater off quick, and then I'm gonna show you what it got up to degree-wise. So once you kill it, it'll go through kind of a cool down cycle. So the fan on this will actually, it'll blow for like 5 minutes, I think it is. And it actually cools it down pretty well. So that's always good. But anyways, let's go to our thermometer. Again, it's 2:29. So almost an hour later, it's still 28 degrees outside. It's still very cold. But in here, it is 61.3 degrees. So it actually went up almost another 10 degrees, which is nice. I mean, it's super comfortable out here. I can work and be good. Anyways, guys, I just thought I would share with you guys that heater. I've been really pumped about it. It's allowed me to be able to come out here and do some work and still stay efficient with pricing. You know, like I said, I'm not burning through $10, $15 a day in electricity using that bad boy. It's, you know, I'm running it on diesel, which diesel isn't inexpensive by any means, but I can use that for in comparison, like even if I used, you know, the whole 6 gallons in a week, because usually I come out, like I said, I turn it on for about maybe an hour a day, so it's a lot more efficient for me. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna leave a link down below in the description if you're interested in checking out that heater, Sunfire heater. I know that you can find them at a lot of big box stores now, like Home Depot as well. So hope you guys enjoy this one. I know a little bit different, but I will see you in the next one.